everybody. I miss you so much. Anyway, here I am in Maggie's playroom. As you can see, my students are some American girls, but this is about the best place we can do this. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update and a lesson on our writing. I saw some of your parents had emailed me your first realistic writing piece, which is awesome. I'm going to send them back an email just to say, for a first piece, I was really impressed. And I know you planned, so that made sense. But today, what we're working on, we're still rocking some realistic fiction. That's what you're trying to do. So you're going to write a story that includes characters, a setting, a problem, and a solution. It should be realistic, so things that happen in it would be things that would happen in real life. Yes, this is the dog we're babysitting. She just jumped in the middle of my lesson. That could be a story. Anyway, if you take a look, while we're rocking realistic fiction, what you're going to do for this first day, so this is day 6 in the lesson plan, but it's the first day of really writing what we're going to call your second story. So it's a new lesson. So it's a new lesson. However, it's the same idea. Okay? So we're going to use all we know to write about characters. So what we're going to do first, this is sort of like reading, is come up with our characters and then start to create a list today of character traits and actions that would make sense to help us recognize our characters. So I'm going to put that up on our poster so we remember we did that tomorrow. So here it is.
Stop.
All right. So stop. Stop. That's okay. The kids will love that. So you please stop. The children need to learn something. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So the first thing you're going to do, like always, is go into your Foundations journal. And normally you would have a graphic organizer that Mrs. Dunner would give you, and then you could pick your paper. But since you're home, we were not having you pick paper, because obviously I didn't know how much paper I was going to send home with you or what kind you were going to use. So we went with our Foundations journal. So in the picture part of your Foundations journal, and you'll probably have more room than I have here, I want you to write setting in there and characters. Okay? And so for my characters, to make this story make sense, I'm going to use my Maggie, who's videotaping me so politely, because that makes sense for her character's name. And then I'm going to use the name Mary. Oh my, maybe that might be confusing later, but I'm going to try it. Now, one of the things you might not have done, a couple did, I saw Poppy did this and a couple other people did, is you might not have stuck to just 2 characters. We're going to try to stick to 2 characters. Think Frog and Toad, think Houndsley and Katina, and then we can bring in Pinky and Rex. We can bring in more characters as we go, but it's better to start with less. So I'm going to leave it with Maggie and Mary. Ooh, Ivy and Bean, that's another good one. My setting, I really don't know yet, but if I were to come up with something, I think my setting, I'm going to make my setting the neighborhood pool.
Oh, I was going to say the beach,
Do you know, am I spelling neighborhood wrong? I am.
Yes.
So it's just like school, kids. It's just like school. I before E, except for C. Right? That doesn't look right. No, that's right. Neighborhood pool.
Isn't there an H?
It is. Oh, yeah. Thank you. It does look wrong. Neighborhood pool. Sorry about that, everyone. All right. So once I have done this on the top, what you're going to do today is you're not going to write a story. I'm going to have to move this, okay, Meg? All you're going to do is concentrate on characters. So I'm going back up. You ready?
Oh.
So it says use all we know. So we're going to think about actions, some things, how they would talk, what they would say. We want to really come up with some suggestions for how we're going to break down our characters. And so like what we did with Frog and Toad, I'm going to do the same thing for my story with Maggie and Mary. And now to tell you the truth, when you do this, because a lot of you wrote about animals and stuff, so I'm going to make sure you understand that both of mine are people. Okay? In this case, they're both little girls. I'm going to say, I think second graders is a good choice, don't you? So I want to give a little bit of detail here, not just what they would look like physically. Remember, we've moved past what they look like physically, although that could be part of it. She's a girl. I'm going to say she has brown hair, and I'm going to say she has blonde hair, just to make my story a little different. Sounds like Poppy's sister, maybe Mary. Girl with brown hair, girl with blonde hair, second grade. Okay, so I haven't thought of my problem yet, but I want to come through and think about my problem because what? It's going to help me to understand Maggie. So I know my problem is they're going to have a fight. I don't know what kind of fight. So I'm going to include that up here in my thing. don't know what they're going to fight about yet because I'm sort of brainstorming. And it's hard, really. I'm not writing my story yet. I can change this tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to have them fight, and I'm going to say Maggie is very strong-willed. Do you know what that means, guys?
No.
So she has, she's stubborn, you know, but like she believes in herself. That's more strong-willed, okay? And I'm going to say Mary, oh my goodness, is also strong-willed. Okay? Over here, I'm going to say that Maggie is athletic and Mary is artistic. Okay? Maggie is a good student. And Mary is all about science and she doesn't like school. Now, I'm writing a lot of things that I might not include in my writing. But so far, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. So I'm going to say she's a girl, she's brown hair, she's second grade, strong-willed, believes in herself, athletic, and oh, I know what I'm going to say. I'm going to put here, she is an only child. And this little peanut, she is the 5th child in her family. Okay? So this is all you're going to do. You're going to come up with your setting and your characters. You might want to think about your problem. Notice, if you don't come up with your problem today, it's okay. But you're just trying to give your characters some character traits. You want to think about what kind of people they're going to be before you start to write this, and that should help you in your writing tomorrow. All right, guys, I really miss you, and hopefully this video is not horrendous. All right, I'll be in touch.